Hey, everybody. Merry Christmas ahead of time. I'm just getting the giveaway ready. And then I'll bring up our guest. How is everybody? Sorry about last week, but I really felt like crud. But I'm here tonight. I still feel like crud, but better than I did last week. I guess I should bring up the chat so I can see what you guys are saying. And tonight, Pete actually made it. So I'm going to bring him up now. Say hi to you guys real quick. Hello, everybody. No. Ohio Metal Maven, Fighting Alabama, Honesdale Detectorist, JBP, Tom Kingery, Clark's Cove, Marty, and that's about digging, Trey Finding Goodies 2, Gene P, and Shane, Ohio River history. So let's bring up our on my computer.
Hey, everybody.
There he is. How's it going, Pete?
It's going good.
Mark the Berg. Everybody's showing up tonight.
Awesome.
I'm just going to tell them real quick.
Can you hear me all right?
Let me get my comments back up again. I hear you fine. I'm sure they can too.
Hey, guys. See everybody coming in the chat. Yep.
Yeah. So good. Sound good, Pete. That's what Effie says.
I see that.
So,
awesome.
I'm going to do one little giveaway. I don't often do them. It's a bunch of crap. It's not really for Christmas because Christmas starts Christmas Day, and I am giving away the Morgan dollar I won on Game of Thrones.
Nice.
I always do the Game of Thrones with the machine, you know, right? Yeah, I'll give that away. It's what year is that? 1921.
Nice.
But tonight they'll get a whole bunch of stickers, a couple of these that Swampy made, Buffalo Nickel, Rosie Dime, Button, just a whole bunch of stuff. So you guys put hashtag Digstock. Yeah, well, it was actually a bunch of stuff I was going to give away last time, and I didn't. So, I mean, when I say a sticker pack, I mean a sticker pack. Y'all getting a whole.
Hey, Nailed It Detecting. Hey, Stories from the Signal. Hey, Gene.
Hey, Patrick.
I see everybody here making comments.
Susan Taker. So, everybody always asks the normal, when did you start treasure seeking? What got you into it? But I like to ask a little bit different questions. I don't know, Matt already. These are trees.
Sounds good. Feel free to ask what you'd like.
All right, we'll start with some off the wall ones, and if you guys have questions in the chat, go ahead and ask and hit at Jersey Race so I can make sure I don't miss it, or if I do miss it, just do it twice. If you could have dinner with any other presidents, who would you choose and why?
If I could have dinner with any of the presidents, well, oddly enough, I've had lunch with Bill Clinton. Does that sound weird enough? I had lunch with Bill Clinton when I was in college. I was at some sort of event, and his wife was Hillary was talking for some reason. I don't even know why I was there, to be honest with you. And I was sitting at a picnic table eating a lunch, and all of a sudden this big limousine comes in, and all these Secret Service guys come around, and I'm not paying attention to nothing. And this guy sits down next to me, and I look over and I go, and he looks at me and he says, "Do you mind if I sit here?" And I go, "No, Mr. President, feel free." And so, yeah, I had lunch with Bill Clinton. So I've already had lunch with a president.
Would be one you would choose to have lunch with, not accidentally have lunch with.
Oh, okay. If I
that's pretty cool, though. That's awesome.
Oh boy,
Well, no,
Maybe
no, no. Clinton
Ulysses.
might watch Curtis Field.
Maybe Ulysses S. Grant. Maybe I think that would be a cool one. I think he'd be a cool president to have a conversation
Yeah.
with.
Let's see. I'm trying to find ones that aren't corny. What is your favorite childhood memory?
Oh boy, that's a big one. I guess I don't know if it's one memory or it's just a bunch of memories. Growing up hanging out on my grandparents' farm in upstate New York when I was a kid was always an adventure. You never knew what you're going to get yourself into. There's a big old one of my favorite things to do was there was a huge farm dump on the farm that dated back to like the 1860s, and I used to go over there and dig through it every time I would go over. So that was one of my favorites.
That's cool. Yeah, growing up on a farm is fun.
Well, you never. There's always
What do you
adventures there. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's all right. If you grow up not in the suburbs, it can be quite the adventure sometimes. Make your own adventures. Use your imagination.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. What are you most afraid of?
I don't like spiders. That's a creature I'm afraid of. I don't know. I really that's a big question. I'm not really sure. I'm sure there's things, but I just don't know if I can think of them right now. As far as creatures, spiders, anything with more than 8 legs is unnatural. More than 6 legs, really.
Yeah, I'm not a spider fan either. Mark the Bird wants to know when is Digstock coming to PA. Well, one quarter of Digstock is now in PA.
Yeah, 1/4 of Digstock is now in PA. That's a great question. We had somebody ask me that the other day too. It's never a. We don't just pick a state usually, and that ends up being where it is. It's a huge process to find a site. So, if we can find the right property, it will come to Pennsylvania. But it just matters if we find the right property. We're really particular about where we go. So for you guys and for us, we just want to make sure it's a good quality event. So if it's in PA, you can bet it's going to be a good site.
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of land in PA, just like there is in upstate New York. And
somebody wrote, if you could
live in any state,
which one would it be? Well, I don't know. I lived in New York for 36 years. I just moved to Pennsylvania. So I don't know. I don't know if there's any particular state that I'd want to there's a lot that I want to travel to, but not necessarily live in, I guess. I've always took a liking to Washington and Oregon because I like trees and mountains and forest.
Yeah, how are you adjusting moving from the cold north to the cold Midwest?
It's a lot nicer.
Side of PA? No, you're more central.
No, I'm right. I'm smack dab in the middle. It's great actually. I just talked to my family last night, and they got 15 inches of snow. So we don't have any right now. So I'm feeling pretty good about the move right about now.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah, I like Pennsylvania. It's a nice state. I
drive through it mostly, though. Have we ever thought of having one in Canada? We actually we've thought about having them all over the place, including Canada, England, wherever we can hold an event. It's just the logistics of getting us there and everyone else there is the challenge. So I wouldn't put it off the table, but that might be a few years out.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I guess I have to update my my passport. Actually, this October was the first one that I didn't attend or crash.
That's all right. We have a good time. We'd really enjoy it. Eh, I see that my buddy is stories from the signal. Pete knows how to find all the chicken blinders we have here. Yeah,
Yeah,
I it's funny. I went detecting with him and Billie Jean Mitchell and
Mike Hollowell.
Jill Hartley, and we found some chicken blinders. I don't think they'd ever found them before, but yeah, they were awesome. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I've detected with Patrick and Mike Hollowell a couple few times.
Couple few times, yeah.
Gotta get up
Me
real
too.
quick.
At this point,
I've done the river with them, so I've gotten my feet wet now. And then I went up to Maine and did it again. Long
yeah,
as it ain't meat, I'm loving it.
those guys love the creek, and they're gonna teach me how to do some creek digging once spring comes. I think.
I'll be there with you. Don't worry.
It
Long as
gets
the
it
water
gets a
don't
little
touch
bit
my
wa- it gets a little bit warmer here, I'm told. So during the summer they do a lot of creek detecting. So I'm down for it.
it's so awesome. It really is.
Patrick.
I don't really do much. I've creek walked before, but our creeks over here are really shallow and stinky. So,
Yeah.
there's no biggie. But I haven't really detected in one. And, these are wide and, I guess no deeper than like my knees, but I had so much fun. I'm sure it was more the company I was with, but, it was a
I
really good time.
say yeah, yeah, I'd say that I've detected it, excuse me, in a creek or river a couple times, but usually no deeper than probably up to my belly button or so. I'm comfortable with that. Once it gets too deep or too fast, I'm not a big fan. But somebody said, "How many tickets are left?" I heard 32. There might be less than 32 now. I think there were 35 last night. We've sold a couple today, so they're getting really low. So we're
Yeah,
telling
just don't
people if
sell
you want,
mine.
huh?
I said, don't sell mine.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just telling folks if they want to get in, they better get in soon. Those 750 spots went really quick.
No, it was a nice pace. I mean, that definitely is the fastest they've sold in a while. I think altogether.
Well, once people get there and see it, it's going to be something. It's spectacle. I don't think anybody's ever seen an event like ours before, and this is the biggest one we've ever thrown. So it's a Matt, myself, Thomas, and Dave were working really hard behind the scenes, along with Thomas and Matt's wife and our family and friends and stuff. They're all going to be there just helping out too. So you'll meet a bunch of people that are close to us, because this is the type of event that we can't do by ourselves, that we need a little extra help. So it's a family and friends
Well,
affair
don't
for
forget,
sure.
I told you last time. I think in North Carolina that I would help you out
Well, you're all
at this
you're
one.
you're welcome. You're welcome to come and help out. We're certainly going to need a few extra hands.
Well, just assign me my jobs and I'll go do
You got it.
it. Now, then one of the questions are afraid of change. I would say you're not, because you moved from upstate to central. A big change.
I had that conversation with somebody today. Somebody asked me something about that, and if I say it didn't scare the crap out of me, I'd be lying. But change is good in life. You learn to grow, and you know what? For me, it was the right time to do something different, and here I am. I ended up in Pennsylvania with I've got family close by, I've got friends close by, I've got new job opportunities, lots of great things going on. So for me, it was right. Change is good. So the only constant in life is change.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy for you. You seem to adjusted pretty well to the move. GP says, please repeat event details.
So for Digstock 5, it's the largest metal detecting event I think we've ever held, certainly here in the United States. 750 people, 7,000 plus acres of property, 150 plus home sites. There's a rock quarry, there's Native American sites. We're going to have GPAA, the Gold Prospectors Association of America, is going to be on site. They're going to be doing gold panning. We have a night seated hunt with $50,000+ in prizes. It's like a pinpointer only night hunt. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch and enjoy. There's going to be keys out there we have 3 treasure chests. One I think they're all over $1,000, I believe, and they're going to be some awesome prizes found. I use a Deus 2 and a Knox 600. My Deus 2 is my go-to machine, and my 600 I use it for specific sites. Once I'm comfortable. I'm not as good with the 600 as many people are, or the Knox, but I do have some skills. Cutting out. I can't hear. I don't know what you said.
Let's see. Fox and you can't hear me?
Oh, I did. You froze for a second. I got you now.
Yeah, it's computer. Hey, plugs. G wanted to know the date and where. It's North Carolina.
Yep, it's March 9th through 9, 10. It's March 9th through 12th. March 9th is an all-day meet and greet, basically. There's going to be music, food, just all the manufacturers are going to be there. We've got a lot of vendors that are going to be there. We're still taking vendors in as far as what we're going to have on site. Some really cool things. It's going to be awesome. We always say our events are more than an event; they're an experience. And for anybody that's never been to one, it's unlike anything you've probably ever seen for metal detecting. But it's not. We kind of don't say it's just for metal detecting. It's called, Digstock is for all the hobbies you dig. So basically, any sort of outdoor digging adventure that you can get yourself into, we're also fans of and we participate in. So most of us are diggers. Actually, all of us are diggers in one way, shape, or form. So Thomas is big into native relics, fossils, that type of stuff. Matt is into all of it. I myself like old bottles, and I'm kind of I like thrifting. That's not digging. That's digging through somebody else's garbage to find some treasures. But I enjoy that type of stuff. Dave has been metal detecting for a long time. He enjoys history too, just like the rest of us. So it's awesome.
There goes Mario. Digologist wants to know: can he bring a travel trailer?
So you can't park it on site. We don't have camping at this event, just due to insurance reasons and at the request of the owner, the landowner this time. But there will be in the future, we're trying to get more of that either very close by or on site if possible. It's very expensive to have camping on site. We found that out in North Carolina with our week-long event. The insurance costs are pretty high. We have, I see Ohio Metal Maven asked about one single hobby, 1-day events. We have, and so we do have a 2-day event. I guess it's for just Native American relics, and that's coming up in April, I want to say. I can't remember the dates.
Yeah, isn't it like
give me a moment.
April or something?
Yeah, give me a minute and I'll get those. And that one is going to be hosted by Thomas and Matt, because I won't be able to make that one. But it's all Native American relics. They've got a Native American village site, and basically these guys are going to be there, right there with you, digging and helping you find some really awesome relics. And it's called Digstock. It's going to be Digstock 6, and I'm getting the dates right now. Give me 1 second. It's going to be April 1st and 2nd, 2023. So yeah, so it's going to be awesome. So we will be, I believe there is going to be live music on the weekend. We're still searching for bands and stuff to come out. At the very least, there will be music. I'm not sure if that means a DJ or something, but we will definitely do that.
There was another.
Digologist says, I thrift for old original paintings at Goodwill. I collect pocket watches, and I used to collect pocket watches really hard, and then I started buying them again. So I got a couple of new ones. This one's one of my favorites. This is it's called a Fusey pocket watch. It's from the 1780s. It's got a hand-painted dial on it. It's really neat.
Here, show that again. I'll make it big. Go ahead and show that one again. That looked cool.
This one here. Here, let's see. I'll show you. It's hard to see. The camera doesn't want to focus in on it, but there's a hunting scene on it. There's a guy on a horse with a bunch of dogs. There's a castle in the background. It's got a silver case on it. And I believe it's from the 1780s. It comes in 2 cases. That's the watch itself. It's key.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, it's really neat. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So very some cool. Treasure hunters can't afford multi-day trips. We know. We're trying to make it as affordable and accessible to as many people as possible. But unfortunately, for the way that we're very spread out, our team is, so it's hard to do a single day event. Sometimes we tried a week-long event. That was something that we've never done before. We put it on in the middle of the week. We found that doesn't work the best. A lot of people couldn't get 5 days off. So if we ever try that again, we're always listening to everybody too. So, we'll take a lot of those suggestions into consideration. But as far as like a week-long event, if we ever did it again, it would probably be like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and maybe a Monday or something. So it was a really long week, but everybody that went had a great time. So did we. But at the end, we were beat. I'm sure everybody else was too.
Yeah. You guys were beat from me trying to catch up to you. Trying to hide. It was a lot of property.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I came down to visit for a couple days. And
we have a good time.
I didn't dig on it. I did. Running around doing. Times you had to meet up.
Yep.
Nicole rocks. She'll help you a lot.
Yeah, the hotel stays are killer. Listen, Gene, I get it. I completely agree. Camping is better. We do love camp. Most of us, the week-long event we did in North Carolina, Thomas, Dave, and I all stayed in a camper on site with the other campers, and we had a blast. And honestly, I love that experience. We're trying to figure out a way to get that back into some of the events. We're working on some things. We're just every landowner is different, so we always bring up that option. But it's a very tricky situation for them, I guess. A lot of them don't want to deal with the liability or anything like that. So then it comes down to us. And and sometimes the cost is prohibitive. Every state's a little bit different, and depending on where we go, it gets, like I said, very expensive. Even if there's like one of the big things they have problems with is campfires, And during our event, it was very windy, and we said there will be no campfires, but they don't care. They just assume that somebody's going to have a campfire, and if somebody falls in, and just the expense. So we're going to do our best to try and get some camping in the future, but right now we're still working on it.
What if if there's a nearby campground that you can block out like a whole section to make available for one to camp for?
That might be a possibility.
Amount, you just send Thomas in there. He can wheel and deal.
He is a wheel and dealer. We actually do try to, I mean, every event we do, I myself enjoy camping. So I always try to put a couple of local campgrounds in our places to stay. If we can find some are better than others. There's some nice KOAs out there. But if there's state parks or something, I'll usually, recommend those because I enjoy state parks personally. But this year, this big event, 750 people is a lot to squeeze into an area. And I know we could do it in New York where we were in Plattsburgh. If we had to do it, we could fit that many people there. One of our challenges is after finding a site, is trying to find where everybody's going to stay. And that's always fun because we don't want anybody to travel more than 45 minutes. That's a very long time to travel day in and day out. You got to add that into your time for your dig. If we have a meeting at 7 a.m. and you got to be there for 7 a.m. and you got to drive 45 minutes, that sucks. So we try our best to find sites that are good. They're large, they have a lot of history on them and are within a certain distance of the nearest accommodations. So if we think we found a site that's good, but we don't think we can fit 500 people in the hotels around it, we'll actually trim the number of people down just to make sure that we can accommodate everybody. And, most people can find a place to stay. And yes, Gene, 750 is a lot to squeeze into hotels nearby. So that's also a challenge. But we try to give everybody, we give everybody a good understanding of where, or at least a vicinity of where the hunt will be initially. And then we try to give our best bet on the hotels and stuff in the area or large locations nearby that would have the room to house that many people over a weekend or a couple of days. So a lot of folks these days do Airbnbs, which is really good. A lot of friends go in together. We've had quite a few detectorists that just come onto our Facebook group and say, hey, we're running an Airbnb. This is the price per night. Come join us. And a lot of people make new friends and stuff that way. So I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah. And then you have a kitchen in there. You can actually cook and Saturday night too, which is saving money.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
So yeah, what was the one in North Carolina last year? 300 people?
That one was like 250 or 275, I think it was. Yeah, it was probably close to 300 people, I'd say.
Yeah, that was a good size. That was a nice place. Good area.
I don't honestly. Let's see here. Digstock. That would have been 3. That one. Yeah. I usually put a description on the website, but now I don't see it. But that was the week-long one. That was a doozy. A lot of crazy things were found there, though. Yeah, I think it was 275. Yeah. A lot of real, a lot of Spanish silver. Man, we had a lot of Spanish silver. We've had a lot of Spanish silver found at our events, which is really neat. I love Spanish silver. So I wonder how far from the South Carolina. It's a little ways from the South Carolina border, Gene. It's probably a couple hours. It's in northeastern North Carolina, so we're telling folks to stay in Rocky Mount or Tarboro, North Carolina. So if that kind of gives you a idea where it'll be, that's kind of gets you in the right vicinity.
Is it near to where the last one was?
No, nope. So that one was closer to Greenville, I think, North Carolina. This one's farther north. We give everybody, we give everybody um, a vicinity, and then once everybody's purchased their ticket, a couple days before the event, we send out a huge informational email, which I have to draft up, and it's got instructions, it's got directions, it'll give you the link to our interactive map, any sort of schedule that we've come up with will be in there. We try to provide some of that stuff before the event and kind of put it out into the public sphere, except for the actual property location and stuff, just to keep the integrity of the site intact. We don't. We've had it in the past where we put it out like a week early, and we've had bad actors go in there and basically dig holes on the site.
North Carolina.
Yep, that's exactly. Right. Who are the special guests at Digstock? I don't know
why she's asking that. It was me.
I don't know if I'm supposed to let the cat out of the bag for any of that stuff yet. There's just know a lot of your favorite YouTube people who've been on TV, maybe history. You just name them; they're gonna be there. If you can think of anybody, most of them will be there.
Yeah, but you gotta admit, I'm the special guest. I'm the one they're all coming there to see. No. Pretty much probably most of the guests that are usually at the bigger events will be there.
Yeah. I would say if there's any particular, we usually have Jason, Quarter Hoarder. We get usually KG and Ringy show up. Sometimes Aqua Chigger will be there. Dwight Colon from Nocta, he's usually there. He's awesome. All of the metal detecting reps will be there, showing off their newest, latest, and greatest machines. It's going to be good. It's going to be, if you've never been to one, we've been telling people this is the one. This is the one you want to go to.
But this is the key when you guys go and you have a gun and you see the special guests out there detecting. Give them a little room. Let them detect. Go up and say hi to them at the meet and greet and at the meetings. Or when they yell gold, go run and see the gold they find.
Yeah. The nice, I don't know if, we everybody's treated the same at the events. You can be a special guest. If you're a special guest, you get no special treatment. We're not telling you where to go. You're on your own, just like everybody else. You got to pick your spot and head out there yourself. We do, our maps are crazy. And, so Gene, the web address is www.digstockevents.com. So you can check out past events on there. You can check out the future events, and we're getting information up there. Some of it's a little bit slow to get it up there. We're trying to work on a new website actually as we speak. Matt and I have to get down and dirty here in the next couple of days, trying to get that all set up. And that should go live, I think, after the big event. So he's been working hard coding and stuff. So it's great. Yeah. No red carpet, grapes, or trumpets for the big tubers. No, you're on your own. You're just like the rest of us. If we have to go out there and find it, so do you.
I'll give you guys a little cue who haven't been. So each manufacturer has a tent, or like American Digger magazine. They each have a tent, and the people that represent or are sponsored by those companies man the tent one there, and everybody go off and detect. They actually take turns who's going to be in the tent. So sometimes you'll catch them all in the tent together at the same time, but you'll catch probably two at a time as the other ones go out and detect a little bit too.
Yeah.
So there's always that way.
Sorry about that. My phone is always going off and blowing up.
Well, you're a very popular dude. Adventures with I Am Papa. Hello. I do want to give away that huge sticker pack that I've added to and has been sitting here for like 3 weeks. So if you guys hashtag Digstock, since Pete's from Digstock, then it'll collect them, and then we'll pick a random person, and then you win. But I'm not going to do a Christmas giveaway till next week because Christmas Day starts Christmas. So for those who came later, this is your Christmas present next week if you are the one who wins. It's a 1921 Morgan dollar that I won on Game of Tones because I got the most answers right.
So the link to the March event, Gene, is going to be under. It's going to be called Digstock 2023, and then you just click the event, and that'll basically give you a rundown of what's there, and then all the other information will be under that. It's called Digstock 2023.
Yeah, you definitely want to go to that. Don't buy the last ticket. That one's mine. I'm holding out. But yeah, I think everybody's really. I'm impressed with how much it's grown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we went from being relatively unknown as far as the metal detecting world, and so yeah, and now we are probably the largest metal detecting event company. Well, just really not just metal detecting, just digging event in the country. I think we've gotten calls from people in the UK that want to show up to the event. We've had people in the UK that want to have an event there. It's crazy how small we started with 4 of us. It's still 4 of us, but we've slowly started, expanding out, doing different things. I'm sure anybody that's on our Facebook group, it's called Digstock Talk. We're hopefully going to have our own line of shovels here coming out soon. We just got a lot of crazy things going on. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Somebody asked if we hunt as well. Nailed it detecting.
No,
do we hunt as well? Yeah. Do we hunt at the events? No, we don't actually hunt at the events. So, that's one thing that we kind of pride ourselves on. We let the guests have the fun. We go out, we will see you in the field. We'll talk to you. We'll give you free prizes, all kinds of stuff that the sponsors give to us. And we just go out and enjoy ourselves. And when we just go out, we have these giant flags you'll see hanging off the back of 4-wheelers and side-by-sides, whatever we use, and they say Swaggin' Wagon. And so all of this stuff, the free stuff that the manufacturers and our sponsors give us, we will literally just go out, and you could be just randomly out there detecting and just bam, free t-shirt, hat, whatever. Sometimes if it's hot out, we'll have water or whatever as well to give away. So we don't hunt at the site or at the hunt, but we'll definitely be out and about. You will see us all over the place.
I'm hoping one day I get to drive one of the 4-wheelers.
And Gene, yes, you are a veteran and you would get a discount. So for this event, we do have it's not every event. Sometimes we do a donation to a charitable organization that supports veterans. Actually, we do that at every event, but or we do a special giveaway just for veterans. But the big events, we usually do have a discount. So yes, we do have a discount for veterans. Just follow the instructions on the webpage, and that'll get you a special code. And then you use that, and you'll get a $20 discount off your ticket. And that's for veterans, EMS, first responders, police, firefighters.
Workers, though, huh? Still?
Huh?
I said no postal worker discount still, huh? When looking for land, do you ask if it has been hunted much?
No. So, we don't. What we do is we do a test dig. So, we can't give away all our secrets, but what we do is we do a test dig. And when we go out there, we all split up. We go across the entire property. We've already done the research at that point, and we won't hold a hunt on a site if we don't feel that there's enough stuff there to be found. So what we do is we go out, we find the stuff. We take a note of it. We put it right back in the ground. We don't take anything with us, anything we dig that day. Believe me, sometimes it's hard to leave it there, but we do because that's part of, our philosophy. If it's in the ground and we're going to hold an event there, we want somebody else to find it. We don't want to be the ones to take it home with us. So we just use that as research to determine how many people we can put on there. And no, you can't bring a four-wheeler. We have four-wheelers and side-by-sides, but mostly to just kind of keep an eye on everybody, interact with folks. We have an EMS team that has their own side-by-side that will be driving around on site. So yeah, can't bring an e-bike as long as you don't park anywhere that's not supposed to be parked on, I guess. So like if we have intentional parking areas, that's the only place you can bring it. You can't drive it out into the middle of the field because that would be some sort of advantage over everybody else that has to park and walk. So an e-bike, if you want to bring it, you can drive it on the roads and whatever is as necessary in the designated path, but anything outside of that is prohibited.
Oh yeah, how is I don't know. Has anybody asked about parking yet? I mean, is it going to be like it was at the last few events where you either park along the road or
yeah, it's going to be similar to the last couple of events. Yeah, I mean, we've really tried to put parking in the most convenient places or places that we think are going to have a lot of activity. We try to get people as close to the sites as possible. Sometimes it's not possible. That's why a lot of people do park on the side of the road. As long as people are smart about stuff like that, we don't have any issues. We usually tell the local authorities, this is what's going to be happening. So, other than that, we do our best to try and get people close. But if it comes down to it, we don't have the room, then parking is allowed. But each event is different. So I would just say wait until the event and you'll see, we'll have the specific instructions for that event. Would you let me fly a drone for video footage? We encourage people to take videos and whatever of the site. I don't know if there's any restrictions based on the particular property owner, but I don't believe so. Don't quote me on that because everyone's different, like I said. So I'd have to check into that, Digologist. I can get back to you. And Patrick, yes, you can bring Uncrustables because those are great.
Yeah, Patrick said he always brings the PB&Js. Yes, he does.
He does.
That's why I drive all those hours to PA. It's literally for a what do they call the game? Uncrustable.
Uncrustable. Yeah. It's a lazy man sandwich, and I'll tell you what, they're awesome. You put them things, awesome. They're frozen. You throw them in your backpack, and by lunchtime, you're good to go.
Yep. They're great detecting snacks. I wonder if they had a detectorist in their mind.
I don't know. Patrick brings them to everything we do, and then he hands them out, and we head out on our way.
Yeah, but did he give you the what was it, root beer? I think. Make sure you guys are putting the hashtag Digstock. I only got 7 entries. Y'all must not want the sticker pack and a dime and some buttons. And oh, by the way, also Clark's Cove bracelet because they sent me a whole bunch. So we got those two. Ooh, this one's mine because it's purple. I think they're all purple. All right, they're all purple. So we'll add one of those to that too, to that little thing I'm giving away. So
nice.
Digstock.
Somebody's gonna win a cool prize.
Yeah, there's a lot of stickers in there, a lot of channels. I don't know. I mean, they're probably mostly mine, but I don't know. I've gone through so many different sizes and reiterations of my my stickers. I got to order more. So the Porta Johns.
Yes. What about them?
Nobody asked about that yet.
Yeah. I mean, so 750 people. You can imagine that we're going to have a lot. I mean, we've taken. I just had a conversation with Matt again tonight, and we're always conscious of the size and the amount of people that we're going to have, and we're going to do our best to spread those out around the property, but most of them will be at the main hunt area, which they usually are, central location, and then we'll do our best to put some throughout the hunt property. 7,700 acres is a lot to cover, but we will do our very best to make sure that you won't go without at least one within a couple of, well, pretty close. As long as we're going to get them as close as we can. Let's just say that.
Yeah, because
there'll be plenty of them.
You don't want too many people with their hand diggers making little trips off to the side. 750 people, they might be people going on top of people. But yeah, no, that's always a good question, though. I'm surprised nobody asked. But so let's find out more about you, since everybody keeps asking about Digstock. We all know Digstock. I mean, geez, it's all over YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, their website, Instagram.
Gene says, how does one walk that many acres? That's a great question. That's why we do have the parking, the parking areas, a lot of parking areas. So it is a lot of acreage. We provide you guys with a map, so you'll know where all the hot spots are, or at least all the ones that we've identified. There will be spots that weren't on maps, that were older, or just were never documented, or what have you. But it is a lot of walking. I will tell you that you will get your miles in, or if you need steps, you will definitely get them at one of these events.
You don't even realize how much you walk.
You really don't. I mean, even myself, even though I'm an organizer and I'm not detecting, I probably walk just as much, if not more than the folks out there, because we're just constantly moving, all of us. And it's going to be, how does one older person walk that many acres? That's, unfortunately, that's the way of the hunts. We try to get everybody as close as possible, but we can't get everybody, we can't accommodate everything, but we do our best to accommodate as many people as we can. So we have had a lot of older folks come to the event, some guys in their 70s and 80s, and dig some incredible stuff and still have a really enjoyable time. So I will just say that be prepared. Bring your comfortable walking shoes and digging shoes, but it is a very walking centric event for sure.
Definitely. Just like anytime you go detecting, you pick your spot and don't spend too long. I mean, if you're not finding nothing, try to find another spot. I mean, especially if you're older and that many acres, you want to find a spot. You find a couple of things, you might want to stick around there for a little while so you're not walking 85 miles.
Right. Yeah. And you know what? It's one of my favorite things is people. This is a tip, and I give the same tip every time. But people ask me, what is the one thing that you would tell people? Well, I can tell you, if there's a hot spot, everybody's going to go there first. If there's one spot that everybody thinks it's going to be great, they're going to go there first. My advice is wait till that first or second wave goes through and go low and slow. You're going to get the things that they didn't stop and take time to look for. Yeah. So some of the best finds. Yeah, some of the best finds come the second day or the third day from those sites. So a lot of people will go in, they'll do a quick mission trying to find all the high tones, and if they don't find any, then they move on. And then once you get in there, you'll get the buttons and the doodads and relics that that nobody else gets. This event, DNL, is in eastern North Carolina, so we're telling folks to stay near Rocky Mount or Tarboro. So that'll kind of give you the general vicinity of the hunt.
See, there's another thing you could do too. Like if you figured out where a hot spot is, move about 30 yards away and start getting up and down digging like you're finding a lot of stuff. Walk over there, then you go back to your little hot spot you just found and take your time.
So Patrick, you've got a good point. I mean, North Carolina is we've been really fortunate with the type of sites we've had. It is very sandy, and I can tell you that when we were researching this site, we go out and, like I said, we take a walk around them. And I mean, I found when we went walking it, I found on the surface this was when we were really early in the search process. Matt had said, I believe these are the fields that we can look into. Let's just go have a walk. This was before the North Carolina week-long event. We went out there. We had half an hour, and we went to one big field, and we just we all spread out. We were just walking across it. I found a quartz arrowhead, a tomback button, and a musket ball all on the surface. I didn't even bring my detector. I was just eyeballing stuff. Pipe stems, and that was within 30 minutes. Dave brought his detector. I think he found a couple of buttons, put them back. And then Matt, I think, found some shards from somebody napping. So, I mean, there was definitely, I mean, I didn't even have a detector. I was just eyeballing stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot of those places, and it's super sandy. So stuff basically, once a hard rain comes, you can see it right on the surface.
Yeah, it is good soil down there. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Stuff does come out a lot different. If you're used to like New England or whatever, a farm for 200, 300 years. Some of these sites are older than that. I mean, it's not uncommon to find a large scent that looks like the day was dropped. So, Rocky Mountain Tarboro, Tarboro is the other town.
Yeah, that's so only 16 people did hashtag Digstock. So I guess only one of you 16, you got a 1 in 16 shot right now to win all these. I mean, there's a lot of stickers. So I guess nobody else was probably stickered out, but there's a lot. Plus, there's a couple tokens Swamp Rat Nation made for me. There's his.
Hey, Danny boy. Merry Christmas to you as well.
There's a Metal Detecting Brooklyn pin, Buffalo Nickel, Rosie Dime. Like I said, a ton of stickers.
Sweet.
So, yeah, we'll give those away right now. I don't like that StreamYard changed this. It's present now instead of share screen. You gotta go present and then share screen. Because my cough is coming back too. My computer's slow. I have one on order. I won't be suffering much longer. Pugsy said you could be at any spot, and if it's your day to be lucky, it's your day to be lucky.
That's a good thing. People ask, are you a good detectorist? Well, I don't know. I'm lucky, but there is skill involved for sure. But sometimes you just got to get over the target. Actually, I would say most of it is just getting over the target.
Well, the luck is getting over the target. I mean, you can swing all day and not go over anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The skill becomes in how you swing, your speed.
Yeah, plugs for days. I can imagine people are trying to hurry. I would say the first day, a lot of people are just they're cherry picking. I wouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people do. And then I really think the best day is the second day. So go back to those sites that were hit hard the first day, or not even hit hard. Just a lot of people went there the first day, and just take your time.
Oh, yeah.
We had a Colonial House site that everybody went to. That was the first place they went to. A lot of people got, some good stuff, but boy, once the second day came around, the next group of people went low and slow. There was Colonial Coppers and Spanish Silver and Silver Cufflinks. And PI machines are allowed. Just be aware that they do interact with a lot of other detectors. So just be reticent of that, Gene. But yeah, we don't have a restriction on PI machines. They just do make a lot of noise amongst other detectorists. The only time that we request that you don't use it is if we do have a seated hunt with with a lot of people in a small area. That usually causes so much havoc that we get lots and lots of complaints that nobody could hear anything. So, but for the most part, we don't have any restrictions on the type of metal detectors you use or wear. Okay.
That goes with Knox's and the seated events too. They really need to put them on single frequency.
Oh boy, yeah, they do. They do.
They kill Garrett's. All you hear with your Garrett is that's it. You're done.
Yeah, my original Deus was not a big fan of Mind Labs and multi-frequency either, but now the Deus 2 has multi-frequency. It's pretty quiet. I don't usually hear them unless I get real close. So
yeah, I use my Knox now for seated hunts because of that. Because I put it in single frequency, and then if you're on a seated hunt, for those who have never been to one, you don't need your sensitivity all the way up. And if you're using a multi-frequency, you don't even need to be on 40 on the Knox 800, or what's the highest one on the 600 again?
I think it's 5, 15. It might be 20. I don't know now. Now I can't remember.
20, yeah, 5, 15, 20, and 40 on the 800.
Yep. So anyways, yeah.
5 or 10.
Yeah, I would say that it's a lot of fun. I mean, if you've never been, it's a lot of fun. After this, let's go back to fun questions. I like fun questions.
Okay. Let's draw this real quick.
All right.
So 20 of you in there. So let's see who wins this huge sticker pack. I'm not going to go through them. And there's also, because it's the machine I use all the time, there's an AT Pro patch. So let's draw it. Let's see who wins it. Who's the lucky person besides me? It looks like Patty Disharoon, but it's not doing the... Oh, it's me.
You just won your own sticker pack.
I did the... I keep it all. Sorry. He's lost him because there's like, I'm stupid. There we go. Congratulations. I don't know if I still have your address, but I'm lucky. I only win on my own stream, Plugsy. I don't win on anybody else's stream, but I also don't know that often. Let's see if he's in there. So anyway, yeah, awesome. Yeah, he's here. Steve, just send me your address because I'm pretty sure I have it, but I know you know my Gmail. I'm pretty sure too. So let me close that out. That'll actually free up some of my AT Brothers memory, so my computer will act a little. Yeah, I've got a new computer on order. So if you were stranded on an island and no chance of being saved, what 3 items would you have with you? You're the only one there.
No chance of being saved. So I'm on my own. 3 items.
Islands yet to be discovered by man. Somehow you watch.
Am I in the ocean or am I in a fresh water? That makes a difference.
I would say probably ocean. I'm pretty sure they found.
Oh man.
Okay.
Well, I probably have. Okay, if I have no chance of being saved. Well, if I'm gonna survive, which I don't know if I would. Well, I think I'd survive for a little while. I want some sort of water purifier. That makes any sense?
Well, there's fresh water there. I wouldn't put you there to die.
Oh, okay. So I've got fresh water, so I don't need to worry about fresh water on my island. Okay, all right then. Oh, that's a great question. Wow, that's a tough one. I would like a oh boy. A solar charger, a Kindle with as many books as I can fit on it, and some rope. I can do lots of things with rope.
You definitely build a shelter.
Huh?
You could definitely build a shelter.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So, what type of music are you into?
Wow, that's a great question. I listen to literally everything. I don't have a genre that's my favorite. I grew up on when I was a kid. My mom was into country and my dad was into classic rock, so I got that as a kid. And but I can listen to anything from rock to classical, just depending on the mood.
Ohio Metal Maven asked, "Do you think there's massive treasure on Oak Island or Joke Island?"
Yeah, I don't know. Could there be? Could this be the lost Dutchman's treasure? It could be, but we'll never know. I really don't. I think it's just me personally. I watched the first couple of seasons. I think it's just I don't want to call. It's not a hoax or anything. I just think there's a lot of hype. They know how to keep people interested just long enough, and then use that voice. Could it be? And they just keep drawing people in.
Yeah,
I think their new show Beyond Oak Island I think is kind of neat because it features treasure stories from around the United States. And a couple of our friends, and I know a couple of my friends have been on it. So I really think I think that's a better concept. Chasing treasure stories from around the United States. I think that's kind of neat.
you have
It's a
a
really
beginning, middle, and end.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oak Island is like the old Batman series, a cliffhanger every episode.
Yeah, you gotta wait till the next episode. I'm not. I'd rather just go dig it myself.
Stacy R asks, "How many automobiles have you owned?"
Well, I love cars. I'm a car fanatic. I love old cars, new cars. I'm a Ford man. I don't know. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. I drive a Ford Bronco now. I think I've owned, oh boy, probably 8 or 9 vehicles since I turned. Well, I was driving before I was 16, but since 16.
Oh, you're not supposed to say that in public.
I
I learned to drive standard at about 13 on a Jeep.
was my first car was
Houston,
a
Texas.
My first car was a 1985 turd brown Chevy Celebrity standard. Oh boy, that was a sight to behold.
You had a Turdmobile too?
Mm-hmm.
My first car was a 72 Olds Delta 88 Royale.
There you go. I've had a couple of Oldsmobiles. My dad liked his Oldsmobiles. We had Oldsmobile 98s, 88s.
Yeah, it was a land yacht, and it was crap brown. Two-tone
Yep.
too.
Oh, I had a two-tone Oldsmobile that I really loved, and I actually totaled it. I hit a patch of black ice and rolled it when I was 18. I think I was senior in high school. But yeah, that was one of my favorite cars. It was red and silver two-tone. Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme 2-door. Oh, it was nice. I love that thing.
Well, the Supremes are nice. Yeah, this was a land yacht, and I could do things the IROCs couldn't. Like I could jackrabbit start. I could burn I could do burnouts. IROCs are too light for that. I could do 180, but I did a 180 into somebody's car, so that was the end of mine. I didn't do anything to their car too. I folded their license plate in half. That was it. My car, I took out the whole back end.
Mark, isn't that the truth? Knowing how to drive a manual shift vehicle is becoming a dying art form. Well, I learned how to shift on like a tractor and then I went to cars. So I'm still not great now because I haven't driven one in a couple of years. I'm sure I would grind the crap out of one at least the first couple of times, but I think I'd get the hang of it again.
You sound like the kids in the rice burners for the first few minutes. It's like shift already. Yeah.
Melvin said he learned in a Yugo. Oh my God. That was literally, I think it was rated the worst car ever made.
It was a disposable car.
It was disposable. All right. I don't think they ran more than 6 months before dying.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, but at one time when you bought a car, standard cars were, you know, regular price. If you wanted an automatic, it was an upgrade.
Yeah, that was right, right.
Now
Then
it's
that
in reverse.
yeah.
Now, if you want a standard, you actually pay more to get a standard, even
Yep.
though it's cheaper to install that transmission than the automatic transmission. Tom is hilarious.
Have a good night finding goodies.
Night, Tracy. Thanks for joining us, bud.
He said it only topped out at 55 unless you were going downhill. Sounds like a story my dad told me when he was a kid, when he drove a Volkswagen van at the up a mountainside, and people on bicycle passed him. He was going so slow.
I had a 81 Cougar that I bought in like 91 or 92, and it was a grandma car. Literally, like her little sewing kit was still underneath the seat. It had barely any miles on it. I think it had maybe 15,000 when I bought it. And 81 Cougar is not a small car.
No,
it had a straight six in it. So it had no power whatsoever. Like if you stepped on the gas, it would go, oh, you wanted to go. Sorry, I didn't know you wanted to go. And in New Jersey, that's not good. This is the Dart and Dash state. But yeah, it was a good car though. My friend named it Wurzel. I don't. Hey Andy.
Hey Andy.
Got off late from work.
My job told me I don't have to come to work tomorrow or Friday, so I'm chilling out for the next couple of days. I don't have to be up at 4 a.m. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I'm off Saturday because my day off is supposed to be Monday, and we're closed Monday because that's the holiday observed. So I'm off Saturday. What was the best vacation you ever took and why?
Oh, whew. I would say my second trip to England, to the UK, was probably one of my favorite vacations ever. It was detecting related. I went to Detectival, which is one of the events that I've been to that we kind of took some of our ideas from or based some of them on. We didn't steal anything. You know, it's all public. You can go see it for yourself. They still put them on. They usually have a spring and a fall one. But I got to meet some incredible people there, people that I still call friends today. Gary Blackwell is one of them, actually. He's a really good friend of mine. You know, and those folks that I met there kind of helped. I don't know. My love of history really gained a new appreciation when I went to the UK. And instead of a couple hundred years, you've got thousands of years of history on an island. And the people were great. The food was good. I had an incredible time. I got to stay with some locals. I just really, really enjoyed that. That's, you know, for if anybody ever has the opportunity to go to the UK to detect, there's a lot of different companies that do digging. There's a lot of other diggers that actually run their own trips. If you ever have the opportunity or the means to do so, I would definitely recommend it. I've got a case full of stuff that I just absolutely love. It's got Roman stuff all the way up to, you know, the 1860s. There's a big joke over there that, you know, anything after the 1700s is rubbish, is what they'd say. And it's funny. I've been to a couple of hunts with like, you know, they call them rallies, or, you know, so it could be like a weekend, a 2-day event, or even a 1-day event. You know, they rent a property, you pay $15 or $20, and then you go in there and you dig. And they put these garbage buckets, you know, for iron or whatever. I go through those things. They're throwing away buttons and like copper coins from like the 1800s. I'm like, I'm going to keep all this stuff.
Yeah,
and
exactly. It's new.
To them, it's just trash, but to me, it's all treasure. I think I found I found a couple of military buttons in the trash bin. I thought that was friggin' awesome. Yeah, so that was my favorite trip. I went. That was 2000. Yeah, 2019, fall of 2019 was the last time I was supposed to actually go to the UK again in March of 2020. Turns out I did not make it.
Gee, I wonder why.
I don't know. I was supposed to stay with Gary Blackwell. We were supposed to go
Oh,
at
right.
his home. We were going to go digging. We were just going to have a great time. Plane tickets were bought. Hotels were, well, the hotel was booked. Everything that was ready to go. They canceled all flights within a week of when we were supposed to leave. So we did not make it. We were afraid if we got there, we wouldn't be able to come back. That was our fear. So
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you probably would have been stuck over there. I know one of my customers rented the upstairs of their house, and the girl was in England for like probably all of COVID. Like they wouldn't let her travel back.
man,
Yeah, it was crazy. But I hope to go over there one day.
it's awesome. Yeah, like I said, it's not cheap. It's if you can find people to go with, or if you can make some friends over there that you can stay with, it'll make your experience better too. Because I always find that going with a local, there's so much history there. I mean, you could go to a field that's 50 acres and you could find 1,000-year difference in history in the same field. I mean, it's incredibly cool.
Yeah, I just want to experience it once. Night
Yeah,
manager.
it's really neat. I stayed at an Airbnb. They owned a field behind their house. I said, "Do you mind if I metal detect it?" They said, "Come on out, have at it." I mean, I found stuff from Roman times all the way up to the 1870s, 1880s, Victorian stuff. I was like, "Wow, I could not believe all in the same field." So yeah, it was pretty crazy. But yeah, I really enjoy. If you ever get a chance to go to the UK, they have a huge detecting culture over there. I've met some really great people, super friendly, helpful. Detecting over there is a little bit different as far as signals. Here, we're always looking for the high tones. Over there, the best stuff seems to be in the mid tone range. You almost have to retrain your ears for that stuff. So if you like digging buttons here, that's the kind of signals you want to dig over there, because I found my first couple of hammered coins over there. Romans will come up really low. Lots of beautiful buttons. Yeah, it's just great. I just had a blast. So I'm hoping 2023, maybe 2024, definitely another UK trip coming up for me.
I'm hoping to get over there myself. I'd really like to. Plus, I want to see, like if I could look up some of my family, see if they look like me. If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
One food for the rest of my life? Can I season it?
However you want to eat it.
Okay. I would say rice, because then I could put whatever I want on it.
Yeah, there you go. It's a good base.
Oh yeah.
And it is a food, so you can put salt on it. You can put
exactly.
Garlic. What's your guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure. I don't know. I don't actually know. I don't know if I have one. I'm sure I have one. I just don't know. Maybe I don't know what it is.
Well, I don't like Eminem, but my guilty pleasure is Lose Yourself for some reason. I just like the song, but I don't really care for him or his other music, but I do like Lose Yourself.
Boy, there you go.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you have any pet peeves?
No. Okay, I won't say no, but so growing up, I was in a family that didn't spell very well. My grandmother and my father included, who I love to death. So now I've become a grammar hound when it comes to spelling. So sometimes if I see something, I'll be like, "That's not how it's spelled," and I will, yes, occasionally I will say, "This is how it's spelled correctly." So I don't know if it's a pet peeve, but it does sometimes. I'm like, I see it and I'm like, "Oh boy, should I say something or just let it go?" I'll just let it go. 99% of the time.
I think with the modern age of technology and social media, I think we all pretty much have that pet peeve. Those of us who spell, no problem. So Degal just said, "What's your food guilty pleasure?"
Oh, that's a great question. Probably beef jerky.
Beef jerky?
Beef jerky. I love me some beef jerky. Actually, any kind of jerky. It's all the same. It's all good to me.
I like ice cream.
Ice cream's good too.
But I don't like weird flavors. I just like regular old flavors, no fruit.
Oh man, I'll give me whatever. I'll just about eat anything.
Well, I mean,
What
I
am
like
I?
most of it. I just don't want fruit in it, and I don't like
Oh, oh, Gene said cheese. Oh, that's pretty close. That I would say that's a very close second. That might actually be number one. Now that I'm thinking about it, I love me some cheese. Yeah, yesterday I literally my dinner was I'm like I don't want to cook anything, so I had like 3 or 4 different types of block cheeses and some fancy crackers, and I was like, this is good enough, and it was delicious.
JVP said ice cream and cheesecake.
I do love cheesecake. Is that's my favorite dessert. Cheesecake is my favorite dessert.
Well, it sounded an awful like your guilty pleasures. You have one in each food group.
Oh yeah. Well, cheese is my
dessert.
daily one.
The
Beef
dessert is a
jerky
whole
is the
separate
meat.
day.
Yep. That's a good point.
And then you got your dairy group with cheese. You got your meat group with the beef jerky.
Yep.
No vegetables though. Unless you like carrot cake, then it would be a vegetable.
I do like carrot cake too. You know what? I kind of like any. You know what? I grew up. My grandmother was a big baker, so I learned a lot of skills from her. And I think I'm a pretty decent cook, but man, baking, I can bake the crap out of some stuff.
Well, when I come out to PA, you better bake something for me. When I go to all day detecting with you, Billy, and Patrick, and Mike.
The only sad thing is the apartment I have. I love it. I really do love my apartment, but my kitchen is quarter of the size of it that it was in my last place, and so I don't have a lot of room. I might have to borrow an oven. I mean, I have a nice oven, but I don't have enough space to put everything out. Get all the. I just there's really not a lot of space, so I have a really tiny kitchen table, almost zero counter space, which is mostly taken up by my coffee maker, which is essential, and toaster. Yeah. So other than that, I mean, there is literally no counter space, and I got a tiny sink too. But listen, I'm making do. I've had some good dinner. I've made some good stuff, but it's a little bit cramped, more cramped than I like.
Yeah. I don't like a tiny kitchen. I can't do it. Believe it or not, the house I just moved from, my kitchen wasn't all that big. I mean, if it was just me, but like if I was making a family dinner, forget it. Just no. And it was a good size kitchen. This one's massive, and I have too much room now.
Honesdale, wondering if some of my tattoos are older than Pete. Yes, I am 36. So 1986.
Really? You're such Actually, you're the same age as my kid, my son. He just turned 36 in October. Digologist, Dunkin' donuts are his weakness. Well, you're not what was it? My tattoos are not older than you.
There you go. Honestly, an age is but a number. I could be 75 or I could be 25. To be honest with you, it doesn't.
When I was 36, I used to say that too.
I don't. I
then
really.
Different decades and yeah.
Well, listen, I can tell you that I'm not old. I have a friend who will always say you're not old, and I'm not old, but I certainly, as I age, I'm in a very physical job right now. I can certainly feel a lot different than I did when I got into that job, quite a few years ago. My body does not do the same things it used to do. That's for sure.
No, it doesn't. I mean, age ain't nothing but a number in your head, though.
Right. I'm young I'll be young at heart till I'm dead, basically. But my body will give out long before I do. My mind does.
My brain definitely still thinks it's around 25, 27. My body's like, no, triple that. 44 year old. I'm about to be 54. I'm not ashamed of my age.
Hey,
I
digging up
earned
the
every day.
Carolinas. Sorry, I'm watching the chat too.
No, yeah, that's all right. Looking to see if we missed anything. Chad is the same age as Honesdale Tattoo, and Patrick was 2 at the time. So now we
Yeah,
know
I am the youngest. I'm the youngest of the Digstock crew.
what's up, digging up the Carolinas. You are, aren't you?
I am. Yep.
Yeah. Well, Matt's not that much older than you.
No, he's only a couple years older than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's to be honest with you, like I said, I don't care. I feel I have the same mentality I probably did when I was no, okay, when we were in our 20s. I'm sure we all had different mentalities, but I'm definitely more. I'd say more mature, but I don't know if that's true either.
Well, I know I'm not any more mature than I was when I was 5. So I'm still selfish, and all my toys are mine. I don't
My
like to
brain
share.
says 33. My body says ouch a lot. Yes, that's the truth.
What's the other thing? Snack, Crackle, and Pop used to be a cereal when I was a kid. Now it's what I sound like in the morning. That's what keeps all of us going, Nicole. Digging and exploring.
Oh boy.
Speaking
You
of
know,
coffee,
life is an adventure. You know, I've had ups and downs in the last year. It's been a very challenging year for myself, but I find that you just keep a smile on your face, and it's very hard some days. But every day there's challenges. But if you can just say, you know what, tomorrow is another day, and just keep on going, then by God, you'll get through a lot of stuff. So,
yeah, there's
and
always a light at the end of the tunnel.
that's right. That's right.
Might be a little dim sometimes, but it's there.
Yeah.
Hey, Bruce. I made myself a crash diet. Lost 100 pounds since May. Can't bring myself to eat a single cookie. Too many calories.
Oh boy, I'd be out of luck.
Well, I don't know. That's probably why I'm still a big girl, even though I walk 13 miles a day. Is because I like my sweets. Not candy
Mm.
so much. I like snack cakes and things like that.
Can't go wrong with that.
No, I'm sure if I wasn't delivering mail, I probably wouldn't be able to leave this room if I continue to eat the same way I do. Like I love devil dogs, and that's what I bring for snack and cookies. What is your most prized possession?
Oh boy, hmm, that's a great question. Something that I probably bring with me or I brought with me everywhere in my travels, from every place I've been to. I have I have an accordion that was my great grandfather's. I never saw him. I never met him. I never saw him play it. It just holds a lot of meaning, I guess. I also have a pocket watch that was my great grandfather's. It's yeah, that's probably one of my most prized possessions. It's not worth a lot. It's not anything fancy. It's nothing special, but I cherish it, and I brought it everywhere I've been.
Well, it may not be worth much financially, but it's worth a heck of a lot sentimentally.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I've got a lot of anybody that's ever seen my collection. It's very eclectic. I have a lot of weird and interesting things in my apartment. It's like a mini museum, but I'm the only one that gets to see it. Although I do invite people to come check it out, but it's really for my enjoyment.
Who was that? Uh, on the Donald Duck, Scrooge McDuck with his room of gold, and he's the only one in there. You know.
Yeah. Yeah,
How
I
do you?
do. I change things. I have that. See that you can see that kind of see the lighted case behind. I'm trying to
Yeah,
like point in the direction, but I'm always over the wrong shoulder. You can see the lighted case over this
yeah.
shoulder. I take stuff out of there and I find something else to put in there, and so yeah, it's always changing, but it's a lot of fun.
Good night, JBP. Merry Christmas.
Good night.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll probably finish it up soon. A lot of people are heading out.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's find a good one. That's a good one. What would it be the first thing you'd do if you won the lottery besides call your mom?
Ah. Um.
Sorry,
Well,
son.
what's the number? What's the number in the lottery?
Well,
Is
we'll
it
go
$1
for the big
million
one.
or $10 million?
We'll go for the biggest one. What is that? Mega Millions or something?
1 billion. So that was over $1 billion. I'd give half of it away day one.
But would you tell anybody you won that? I wouldn't tell a soul. To tell you the truth.
I think I'd have to. I don't think I could keep that a secret. I
I
can
don't
keep a
know.
lot of things secret, but I'd be pretty damn excited about that.
I
But
think
no,
I think I would lie about how much I won. And that was
yeah, but yeah. So you can keep it secret. You can keep it anonymous. But I mean, once you start buying stuff, that's the hard part to keep
well,
it.
you wait a little while to buy your island. Don't buy it right away.
Don't buy it on the same. Don't buy it on the same day
I
you want
would
it.
though. I would buy the island, then I would put water mines out there and
Yeah, I think I would give half of it away, whatever the number was. It could be, $1 million or $500 million or $1 billion. Give half of it away to whatever charities I felt, had some sort of meaning to me, probably. And then the rest I'd probably just invest in something, just let my money work for me so I don't have to work for it anymore.
I'll just stick it in a overseas high interest, and just live off the interest.
Yeah.
Still be about probably 50 times more than I earn a year. So
Only people I care about will know because everyone else will become your best friend. Yeah, that's very true. Yep.
yeah, no lie. People will come out with this just like that, no matter how
Yep.
much you win. You can win $20 and I'll be like, "Hell, you got five." Just imagine winning $1 million. Boy, those hands come out real. People you haven't talked to in years are suddenly like, "Hey, remember that time?" No, I don't. That was 30 years ago. We ain't friends no more. Bye bye.
Good night, digologist.
Hey, Barrage 3. Oh, a happy birthday, buddy. How old are you now? This is my little buddy from Texas. He just got into detecting, and I noticed that he had his pinpointer in his finds bag, but he didn't have a lanyard. So when I got back, I had ordered one off of Dan
Yep.
and sent them out to him in Texas. And I believe he was 11, I think. How old are you now, buddy?
13. Awesome.
13? Oh, you're 13 now. Wow, you're getting to be an old man. So you were 12 then. Okay.
Honesdale, doing it less than 2 years and forgot what I used to do. Boy, I used to have a lot of hobbies before I got into detecting. I like to fish. I still like to fish occasionally. I like kayaking. I like hiking. I do all those things still, but detecting definitely took over everything. Once you find your first old stuff, I don't know what it is, man. I love detecting so much. If I could do it every day and not have to worry about anything else, and I had a good sight every day, I would do it every day.
Oh yeah, I would do it every day, even if I didn't have a good sight. Yeah, it gets frustrating when you pull, shotgun shell after shotgun shell or pull tab after pull tab, but it's still the thrill of opening up the ground to see what it is that's in there.
Right. Have a good night, Gene. It was great talking and chatting with you. Maybe we'll see you at a future event.
He says, "Yeah, I'm getting old." Well, you keep detecting, buddy. We'll run into each other again, I'm sure. Yeah, I bet you do. Patrick's a great detectorist, I'll tell you. He takes his time. Him and Riley are like really good detectorists.
Riley Bryant, that guy's got a horseshoe. He's got a horseshoe somewhere.
No, did you ever watch him detect?
Yeah, he's very good. No, I agree. And it's
he's super slow. He takes his time.
Yes.
He takes the tiniest little steps. I watched him at that park in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Where everybody else had been swinging like madmen all over the place.
Yeah.
there he was, just real slow. People are flying by him left and right, and he's pulling out all these buttons like popcorn.
Yeah,
You know,
that's the kind of that's how I detect. We hit a site. We had a site here in Pennsylvania that I got permission to, but Billie Jean was walking around one of the fields, and we just actually found a spot that wasn't on any maps. And she has a Knox 600 and 800. I have a Deus 2, and her friend Jill had an AT Pro, and I clean their clocks, and it's not because I'm better than them or anything. It's just I'm extremely slow, and I dig a lot of iffy stuff. And I'm a very big person that I love midtones. I dig that stuff all day long. So digging up War of 1812 stuff, a lot of those buttons are pewter and made of other crap that's very, very brittle, and a lot of times it doesn't hold up well in the ground. And I found a ton of buttons, like 3 or 4 times more than the other two, and they found some great stuff, but it's just I don't know what it is. That sound I'm like, this thing is a button magnet, but that's one of my favorite things to dig. There's so much variety. Coins are awesome. I'm a coin guy too. I grew up collecting coins, so my grandmother started me when I was 13, so I love coins, but I'll tell you something about finding a button with something on it. I love military buttons, but anything like I love the hunting, motif buttons. I like the little Jacksonian buttons that got weird little things on them. I found one with a squirrel. It's like my favorite button ever.
Yeah, I like I'm huge on relics. I like relics because they're personal. Like just like today, you drop a nickel out of your pocket, that's it. But it hadn't been in your pocket very long to begin with. But the button on your shirt is always on your shirt until you finally get rid of that shirt.
Right, yeah.
So, and their shoe buckles, that's how they put their shoes together. They didn't have shoelaces.
No, exactly.
And they didn't have 45 pairs of Nikes either. They had one pair of shoes. They had one for working in the fields and one for Sunday church.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's their personal. They had this something they looked at every day. They touched every day.
Yeah. It's such variety. I just buttons are one of my favorite things to find. I could find a billion flat buttons, and I just every time I still love them. Yep, something about them. Oh, I haven't had so much fun as I'm having here tonight since 1968. Well, we're having a good time too. I appreciate Rachel bring me on here. It's been a while. We've been trying to get together for a long time. It's just been our schedules just haven't aligned till tonight, knowing that I don't have to go to work tomorrow. So I'm fine with staying up a little extra later and hanging out with you guys. I love talking with people from the detectorist community, digging community, really anything. And it's nice to not just have to talk about Digstock, because that's the main thing I usually get on these shows to talk about. But I appreciate this.
Yeah, we went there. We started talking about, because I saw some questions I haven't heard asked before, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great. So I really
people who really don't know much about it because they're not in every single stream. So it's
right.
Good to just
do
a little refresher for like Gene P, for example.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are some good questions people put out.
Yeah,
I haven't really heard them asked, so that's pretty good. Or not asked that often, because.
All right, bye, Buckle Boy. You got to get out of here. Good night. Merry Christmas.
Night, Buckle Boy. But yeah, no. I just wanted everybody to get to know you a little bit more too, other than just it's Matt and Pete and Thomas and Dave, like Digstock.
We're just regular guys. It's the weirdest thing when people come up and know who you are. I'll be honest, because it's never really struck me as being important. I don't need to be wanted. I don't need to be liked. I like myself, and I think that's good enough. Yeah. And so when people come up and they know who you are and they're excited to meet you, it's a weird feeling. you're like, oh, this is cool. People know who I am. But at the same time, I'm no different than you. I dig the same way. I use a detector. I find a signal. I get down on my knees. I dig the hole, whatever it may be. It's the same. It's the same. I'm same as everybody else. But I do love, one of my favorite things about it is the community that we've kind of created with Digstock, and having people from so many different types of backgrounds and experience levels, and it's just I think it's really, really awesome. I mean, I just enjoy it so much. Me, for an event, when we go to the events, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of late nights and early mornings. But at the end of the day, when I get there and I see all those people and have conversations, great conversations, and just get to see them smile and laugh and joke and just enjoy themselves, that's my treasure right there. I mean, no joke. I know it sounds corny as hell, but to me, that's the best part. I just love hanging out with those people, doing the same thing I like to do and enjoying themselves. I mean, there's no greater joy for me than to see somebody find something awesome at one of our events.
Well, whenever I find stuff, I hide it from you. So
Yeah.
no, that's not true. Yeah, so I guess we probably could wrap it up pretty soon. Like I said,
Yeah.
people going out.
Well, hey, I just want to say again, thank you so much for having me on the show. I want to say thanks to all of you guys for coming out and watching. I know I'm a really interesting fella, or at least I think I am. But I do appreciate Jersey Ray getting me out here and talking to all y'all.
You're not chopped liver, Alicia. But if you want to hang out for a minute, Pete, I'm gonna say goodbye to the folks. You
got it.
You can say bye first before I put you back.
All right. Merry Christmas, y'all. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. I hope you all have a good holiday season. Maybe I'll see you guys at an event in the future. If not, feel free to hit me up on Facebook or Instagram or wherever I am. I'm all over the place, but feel free to hit me up if you want to chat. I'm more than happy to have a conversation with pretty much anybody. So have a good night, and I look forward to seeing y'all sometime in the future.
Awesome. I'll talk to you in a minute. All right, guys. Have a great Christmas weekend. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. Steve, I'm sure by now you already emailed me, and I'll get that out soon. But have a great weekend. Happy hunting. If you're getting out detecting, have fun finding stuff. If you get a moment Christmas Day, may the whole be a huge, beautiful bucket listing Christmas gift. How about that? So peace, and I will see you guys next week. And remember, one of you will get this as a Christmas gift. It's a 1921 Morgan dollar. It could be yours next week. So peace and thank you.